name is Ana Maria Pacheco, a third-year BS Ed Science student. So this video is a presentation of a concept paper entitled Climate Change Impact on Rice Field in UNIDOS TAGO Surigao Sur. For centuries, the global food system has been evolving and adapting to change. However, agricultural sector is confronted with growing constraints on its ability to supply adequate and affordable quantities of food as a result of an increasing global population, changing diets, and growing demands for non-agricultural land use. By Tillman et al. On 2011. Rice production is an important aspect of a country's food supply and economy. In the Philippines, rice is the most important staple food as it provides almost half of the calorie requirements of the population. However, the increase in both carbon dioxide levels and temperature greatly affect rice production. This is from RICEFIELDS.org. Climate change threatens our ability to ensure global food security, eradicate poverty, and achieve sustainable development. Greenhouse gas or GHG emissions from human activity and livestock are a significant driver of climate change, trapping heat in the Earth's atmosphere and triggering global warming. Climate change has both direct and indirect effects on agricultural productivity, including changing rainfall patterns, drought, flooding, and the geographical distribution of pests and diseases. This is from FAO on 2021. Barangay Unidos is heavily dependent on natural resources as a source of income and needs. One of the major sources of income in the locality is planting rice. However, the growing effects of climate change has varied impacts on the yield production along the region. This paper is an attempt to investigate how climate change can affect rice production at Barangay Unidos, TAGO Surigao Sur, and propose some adaptation measures that could be undertaken to mitigate the negative effects of climate change while enhancing the positive ones. The paper would provide the importance of plant adaptation measures and highlights possible strategies for reducing risk and improving resilience in rice production in the barangay. This paper aims to first, identify significant changes on rice field productivity in Unidos TAGO Surigao Sur as of 2000 and 2021. 2. Determine the impacts of climate change on agricultural livelihood in Unidos TAGO Surigao Sur. And third, evaluate conductive measures in terms of mitigating effects of climate change. The questions that to be answered in this paper are: first, what are the significant changes on rice field productivity within the last 2 decades? Second, what are the major impacts of climate change on the agricultural livelihood in Unidos, TAGO Surigao Sur? And third, how do the locals conduct mitigation measures on the growing effects of climate change? Expected outputs: adaptation measures by producers, such as improving on-farm water retention in soils or altering the timing of cropping activities, play an important role in increasing the resilience of rice production amidst change of climate. Additional strategies such as improving irrigation systems should also be implemented. In particular, pressurized irrigation systems such as sprinklers and drip irrigation decrease water demand by the agricultural sector and increase the efficiency of water use. As such, the systems decrease climate risk in general and may prevent large yield losses during drought on land where these systems are installed. This conceptual framework follows the DPSIR framework, which shows the interdependence of the components in the study. This paper would provide help and assistance to the locals in extending relevant information concerning the significant changes in weather patterns that occur in the environment due to climate change, along with its major impacts on rice production. Furthermore, this study would also be beneficial in terms of providing mitigation measures to the locals in farming and rice production for a more bountiful harvest, which is important in feeding the population. This paper concentrates on determining the effects of climate change on rice production, as well as analyzing the direct impacts of temperature change on yields of rice for the last 20 years. This paper also focuses on providing possible mitigation and adaptation strategies to reduce the negative impacts that climate change might impose on the rice production sector at the barangay. The scope of this study is limited along the premises of Barangay Unidos, TAGO, Surigao del Sur, and its covered land of farming. To estimate additional R&D expenditures is based on the function of the estimated elasticity of changes in expenditures relative to changes in yields. First, a baseline of expenditure growth in both private and public R&D from year 2000 and 2021 is established. Second, for a given scenario, a level of additional expenditure is calculated based on a required change in yields. The methodology to calculate the improvement in irrigation efficiency differs from the R&D measures. The adaptation expenditures are calculated as necessary investments in order to achieve the given minimum efficiency target. First, an initial efficiency rate is calculated based on the share of each irrigation technology used. Second, the proportion of an efficient irrigation system that must be replaced in order to achieve a chosen level of irrigation efficiency is calculated. In addition, the annualized cost of the potential replacement irrigation system are calculated.